Welcome back to LePodcast episode 52. As always, you're here with Hoop, Saney, and the infamous ZZ Huncho. At the time of this recording, the NBA All-Star game happened last night. Team Giannis beat Team LeBron by a score of 184 to 175. I think there was 5 guys who went over 30 points. Jason Tatum broke the All-Star scoring record with 55 points. The public perception of this game, everyone on Twitter hates it. I think there's some validity to that. So Z, can we get your initial reactions? You look a bit upset.
To be completely honest with you, I hated it. I genuinely did. It was a glorified shootout, basically. And it was either a glorified shootout between Team LeBron members and Team Giannis members, or 2 members of Team Giannis, aka Jason Tatum and Donovan Mitchell in third quarter, literally just shot matching each other. My issue with this All-Star game stems from the fact that not only is it now sort of become like to the light that this is an issue, like JJ Redick just talked about it on his podcast. I was just watching it a second ago. JJ Redick said he understands what Jaylen Brown said in his pros game conference about it. Jaylen Brown saying it was a glorified layup line. He understands Mike Malone saying that it was the worst basketball game that he ever saw in his life. I was also watching First Take earlier, and it was reported that they shot a combined 133s in one game alone. 133s, right? So I watched the game last night. I'm over there chilling with my boys. Shout out Rondé, shout out Devontae, shout out Mama West. I'm in there chilling, right? And Mama West, let me tell you a little something about Mama West. Mama West rarely watches basketball games. If she does, it's only Warriors or whatever spectacle it is, All-Star game, something like that, maybe dunk contest here and there. Rarely watches, right? You know what I'm saying? Hard-working woman. Coming home from, coming home at like 11 a.m., 11 p.m., you know what I'm saying? Want to watch some basketball. She gets home. She's off yesterday, though. She's off, right? I come over there. First time we watched the game since I was a jit, right? So in the middle of this game, we are literally watching Jason Tatum. As you said, he had 55 points. I think he shot over 70% from the field. He had like 7 threes. I got it right here. 55, 10 rebounds, 6 assists on 71% from the field. Mind you, Donovan Mitchell had 40 as well. That was his teammate. So you would think that nobody would have an issue with, like Sadie just started laughing. You would think that nobody would have an issue with 2 teammates both going for over 40, right? Then I go to the bench. Damian Lillard, 26 off the bench, right? It's a whole lot of scoring. It's like abnormal scoring. If you go back and watch this damn game, you would see what you usually see in an All-Star game, right? If anybody drives in, the lane gets open, they get an open dunk, right? If it's Joel Embiid,
do you have an issue with that?
I used to because I said to myself, every time I watch an All-Star game, it's just going to be cool, flashy dunks, right?
I also like the shot chucking. I feel like we're disagreeing here.
You like the shot chucking?
Yeah, my issue with the All-Star game is the fact that it's a balance or a improper balance of this competitive sort of trying to win the game, but not really trying, and then trying to put on a show. They need to pick one or the other, and I think it should be the show. I like the shot chucking in terms of Donovan Mitchell pulling from the logo. I don't like this, Paul George, I'm in the corner, catch and shoot threes. I don't want to see that. I want to see either a wide open lane dunk where the defense is literally letting them in, and we're just seeing Anthony Edwards do windmills. Instead of this, I'm going to show him up here. There's going to be a big down low, but he's not going to contest, because that means there's layups. There should not be layups in an All-Star game. A lot of the points that were not three-pointers were just little bunnies at the rim. It should be either a logo 3 or a dunk, in my opinion. I'm going to let you guys rant, and I'll let you continue. But I have a way to fix this game in order to, in my opinion, make it the most entertaining. I think it should be entertainment instead of competition, because it's really hard to get those guys to be competitive.
So here's my thing, right?
Last thing.
Go ahead.
Didn't help that LeBron did not play the full game. Giannis made one layup, then left.
He played 20 seconds. He played 20 seconds.
And then we also didn't have Steph, KD, or Zion. Like, some of the most all-starry all-stars were not playing. So that's why it sucked. It was bad.
Which here's another thing too. I said that last night. And I said the fact that we don't have Steph, the fact that we look at certain players as like the greatest players of our era, right? We think of LeBron, Steph, KD. After that, it's a toss-up. You can throw in Kawhi, you can throw in James Harden, blah, 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 blah. And if you want to throw in Giannis, that would have to be like post-2020. But think about this. The 6 players that I just named, 2 of them played, pretty much one of them, One of them played for 20 seconds. That was Giannis. The other one played for one half. That was LeBron. And everyone else was either not invited to the All-Star game or could not play in it because they got hurt, right? Curry and KD, right? So here's my thing. I was watching JJ Redick's podcast a second ago, right before we started. JJ Redick said, it's supposed to be a spectacle. It's not supposed to be competitive. That's what he said. So in my head, I'm sitting here like, okay, it's not supposed to be competitive, right? Yet when All-Stars were announced, what did we sit here and do? Oh, well, you mean to tell me that James Harden got snubbed? SGA got snubbed from the start. What do we do? Every time that they give out every time they say this is who the All-Star starters are going to be, this is who the reserves are going to be, us as fans, we literally sit here and debate on who should have made it over who. If it isn't supposed to be competitive, if it's just supposed to be a spectacle, why the hell do I care that James Harden got snubbed? Why the hell do I care that Trae Young got snubbed?
They're doing the fans wrong.
You feel me? So in my head, I understand it's supposed to be entertainment based and all this BS. Here's the thing. All-Star Weekend is not just about the All-Star game alone, and we're going to dive into this in a second. All-Star Weekend itself is supposed to be about the best of the best. These are the best hoopers in the world, according to Adam Silver, Stephen A. Smith, and any other media analyst that's out there that's going to just hype up the league. These are the best basketball players in the world, better than Greece and better than Australia and blah, 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 blah. So now we get to see all of the best play for one weekend. Really? So what do we get to see on this weekend? How about the dunk contest? Who won the dunk contest? The same guy that won Rookie of the Year for the G League last year is our reigning defending dunk contest champion. Get that? Like, bro, that's crazy. So I'm gonna let Sandy go in a second, but I just want to say, Hoop, you were talking about how you wanted to fix this. There's ways that I'm thinking about trying to fix this too, right? Like implementing a 1v1 tournament. Oh wait, guys, we can't do that. Why can't we do that? Because well, guys don't want to lose. The what? The guys don't want to lose. Guys don't want their credibility gone in a 1v1. So what do? Oh, well, they're not going to do the dunk contest because they don't want to lose. They don't want to get hurt. They don't want to think too hard. No. What do you mean? The dunk contest used to literally, I made a video on this last weekend. The dunk contest has featured some of the greatest basketball players of all time in their era specifically.
And now Ja doesn't do it unless he gets a
million. And now Ja doesn't do it unless he gets
$1 million. That's what he said.
I thought he said 1 billion likes, one of the two, but it's all these like, bro, what do you mean? You're out here dunking on Jakob Poeltl or any guy, any 7-footer that you see at the rim that's built like the same as you weight-wise. You're gonna go up there and dunk on him. But you mean to tell me that you can't get a little bit creative in Utah for one night? You got Mac McClung out here. Actually, Mac McClung looked like he was the only one determined to win it. Like look at Jericho Sims.
Yeah, no, I really want to get into this dunk contest too. First, Sandy, I don't know if you've said a word yet. Would you like to say a word before I rant as well?
Z, I don't know what you want me to go on about. I didn't watch the All-Star game.
For a good reason. I totally respect that.
I have no intentions to watch the All-Star game anymore. I mentioned this to the guys earlier. I'm not mad. I never get mad about the All-Star game nowadays. I used to a lot. Now I'm just like, you know what? They're clearly catering to kids, to like preteens, even teenagers, like 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds. Growing up, it's cool. And even I'm not even saying this to be nostalgic. Like it genuinely was cooler back in like the 2010s. Early 2000s and the 90s. Like it was cooler back then. It really was. Like I don't think this is a case of me just getting old, but I do understand why I don't like the All-Star game specifically anymore. I think the whole weekend is just, it's especially with the influence of social media, it's just a big sham now. It's just kind of like an outlet for celebrities and players to dress up and, think they're them. I mean, they make millions of dollars, so low-key, most of them are him. But you guys get what I mean. Like, you just see the most ridiculous outfits, a bunch of guys courtside, nobody cares. Everybody's just like a bunch of celebrities. The All-Star game is for the fans, but the fans can't afford them. Same idea with the Super Bowl.
No, that's the thing. Like, they say it's for the fans, but it's not. So I want to show you my idea on how I think to fix the All-Star game. People are saying there's no fix. I do think there's a fix. And the fix is to get rid of it. You can still have All-Stars. I'm gonna knock out a couple problems with one stone here. You should still have All-Stars, just like you have all NBA teams. To make the All-Star players seem more credible to the fans, so we can eliminate this arguing. I think we should eliminate fan voting. Because they're not playing in the game. There's no reason to have fan voting. We could do this just like we do the MVP. They're still going to be arguing, but it's more credible in that all-star now, being an all-star now becomes more of an achievement. It's not like, oh, Andrew Wiggins got voted in by the fans or, whatever. They should turn the all-star game into an NBA celebration game where it is strictly fan voted. If you want to make this like a really fun game where they're just chucking logo threes and playing one-on-one, like the times where it was fun last night was in Tatum and Jaylen Brown went one-on-one. Like that was cool to watch. When Dame Lillard was just chucking logo threes, I like that because it really shows like how great they had a lot of them. Like they were very efficient from that deep range. It's fun seeing everyone clear the lane and let LeBron throw a oop to himself. They should have an NBA celebration game where we can vote in guys that we just want to see on the court, like LaMelo Ball. If we want to vote in Boban, why not? Like it's just it's irrelevant to the All-Stars. They're still there, and they still get recognized as All-Stars. But we have an NBA celebration game that is more catered to the fans, where instead of just trying to not try too hard but try to win the game, the players themselves agree to like, yeah, let's clear the lane. Let's just let a 5-man alley-oop off the backboard, and then Anthony Edwards is at the end throwing down a windmill, like something like that. Maybe shorten the quarters or like make it more manageable, so you actually have not saying a structure where you have to do this as a player, but the players agree like we're going to make this like a WWE thing where we're just going to entertain, right? Like would that not be that much more fun?
So here's my thing. I feel like there's a lot of ways to fix this. There's a lot, but the biggest way to fix it is to literally nix every old concept that they've had. Because you got to think about it like this. Over the last couple of years, the All-Star format itself has changed, right? We like over the last 5 years, we've gotten captains. Of course, rest in peace Kobe, rest in peace Gigi. But they implemented that format to be dedicated towards Kobe, where they have the target score and things like that. And I saw a comment on somebody's Instagram where it said the All-Star game seems like it hasn't been competitive since 2020, but it felt like everybody was playing for Kobe. So naturally, the competitiveness was there. And then you look back last year, like LeBron had that fadeaway in Cleveland. Steph has 16 threes, but I mean, it was storybook ending. LeBron hits a fadeaway game winner in his hometown or his home city in the All-Star game. That's freaking fantastic. But looking at it this year, you just brought up Tatum and Brown. That was the only thing, because when did that happen? Like the third quarter, I think, maybe early fourth.
That was entertaining.
It was entertaining for a second, but then when they kept going back at it, like the first time they matched up, it was entertainment. Or 2 times they matched up, first 2 times, because Jaylen Brown got one on Tatum. Tatum went down the court and had Brown matched up. He misses. Brown goes down the court, scores on Tatum. Tatum goes back down the court, scores on Brown. But here's the thing. They're doing this at the same pace that Nikola Jokic runs up and down the court every regular season night. Like literally, think about this. The pace of the game, they played it at like 56%, like effort-wise. Nikola Jokic looked like he was out there exuding more effort than half the guys on the damn floor.
Jokic, that's just a stray on Jokic. That has nothing to do with the
Jokic. No.
No. You're just saying he's slow and out of shape. That's crazy.
That's not a slight to Nikola Jokic because we know how he plays. We know how he plays. But that doesn't mean that I should see Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown walking up the damn court and Jokic passing them and running at half speed.
Too much. That's
I'm not nitpicking. Okay, listen. First of all, this is my rant. I'm not nitpicking at anything. I'm pissed right now. The reason that I'm pissed is because we are sitting here talking about this All-Star game that is now, like you said, on Twitter, universally. The damn coach of the game himself called it the worst basketball he has ever witnessed. That is a problem for me. And you just sat here saying that we should, get rid of the fan voting. Well, damn, isn't it for the fans? Shit.
Did you hear me? I said we get rid of the All-Star game, but we replace it with an NBA celebration game. It's completely irrelevant to who's in the All-Star game. Because I'll be honest, as a Knicks fan, I don't want to see Julius Randle play All-Star basketball. I'd rather get LaMelo Ball in there. I'd rather have Boban in there. I'd rather have NBA fan favorites in there. So instead of this like not even like semi, it's just like they're out there in mind that they have a target score to reach, but they don't really care about that. So they're still like showing bodies in the paint so we can't dunk. I'm just saying like the defense should clear the lane, have guys standing at half court just waiting for the ball to get back so these guys can just put on a show for even a half an hour instead of a full game, instead of this like awful basketball we're getting at an actual All-Star game.
I disagree with that idea. I
What's
think
that?
I think the point of the All-Star game is to reward players who maybe not will or might not be all NBA level, but they still get a weekend to be recognized as the group.
They can
of
get
the top
recognized, but they don't
20
need to
players.
play in the game.
And they get recognized, but they don't have that. You got to understand the background of All-Star Weekend. They got to have all those media opportunities. They're there for a whole weekend. I saw Bose sponsor like a bunch of those players where they just did a bunch of events. Jaw had his whole pop out with his Nike shoe. They get a week off. They get to bring their families. Like the All-Star Weekend is supposed to be like, obviously it's for the fans, but it's also a weekend to give players who are at the best of the best a weekend to just like chill around each other.
They can still be chilling there.
But when are they going to do that? You know what I mean? Like it's weird to have two
they'd
events.
still
where
be.
like
They can recognize the All-Stars and just say it celebrate. Like you didn't even watch it. How would you fix it? What would make you watch the game?
I'm not saying the All-Star is good whatsoever right now, but I don't think a celebration game is there to fix it, because then you have two separate events now. The celebration game, a lot of these guys aren't going to want to do it because it's pointless. If it doesn't go on their resume, what are they going to have, a two-time celebration game selection? Like,
and then you just said
no, because you'd still be whatever.
You just said
you would still be an All-Star. You're just adding more selections to the All-Star game, basically.
Right. Here's my thing.
I'm not saying it didn't count as a selection.
You're a Knicks fan, Hoop, and you know damn well Jalen Brunson deserved to be in that All-Star game.
I don't even care about it. I just want to watch good. Like, I just want to watch fun basketball.
You want to watch good basketball, don't you?
If you want to make it good, I think if you want to make it good, I think the issue with the All-Star game, and I'm surprised people aren't pointing this out, it's because they're trying to be different. We've had the same All-Star format for like 30 years beforehand, and it worked out every single time. And
that's cap.
Now, what do you mean that's cap?
The All-Star game has never been fully entertaining. There's always been.
Bro,
Allen Iverson.
No. Yes. Then what are you talking about?
It was fun, bro. Like the 2014 All-Star game was really fun. The 2015 All-Star game was really fun.
Because you were 12.
27. Even 2020 was fun. It's not good anymore.
I agree. A couple years ago with the target score when they first introduced that was fun. But there was
fun in general.
Aside from games where you have like a Steph Curry, LeBron James masterclass, like many just regular All-Star games, they're not that fun to watch. They're not.
Okay, so how about
I think if you want to talk about this being an outlier, I have no issue with that. But I think it's largely because Steph, KD, LeBron didn't play.
That's fair.
I have no problem with this being an outlier, but the game itself is extremely flawed.
I think the game is flawed because they keep trying to change shit. I think that the ideology they had behind it before, where it was just a bunch of dudes hooping. Obviously, they weren't going tryhard, but it was still really fun to watch. Like the 2010s was super fun. Even if you look back at the 2000s highlights, and not just the All-Star game, but the competitions itself. Like Z said, you actually had the best of the best.
All the highlights are cool. Dame hit a half-court shot. All the highlights are cool.
You're not even listening to what I'm saying.
I just heard you say if you go back and watch the highlights.
If you go back and watch, I just said not just the game, but the whole weekend in general. And again,
now we're talking different.
I'm saying All-Star and different. I'm saying
we're talking
All-Star
specifically
in general
the game.
is trash, and the game on top of those events were way better beforehand. Nowadays, All-Star sucks because guys genuinely don't care anymore. Beforehand, it was a lot more fun. You had a bunch of guys just jawing at each other. It was funny. It was cool. You had in 2014, for example, those different cam angles they had. Remember when they did that like 360 thing when like Blake Griffin would catch a windmill, and then during the game it would show you that camera angle? That was cool to watch. Now it's like they don't care about anything. The dunk contest, again, is done by a bunch of players who don't get minutes. No disrespect to them, but that's just the truth. Bro, there was an All-Star, like, remember back then, not even just like 20. I'm not going to point out like the major ones where it's like Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. Like, I'm not going to point out the best of best. Like, Paul George, John Wall would be contestants.
Let's get into the contest now. So we're done from the game. I agree. Like the game, whatever.
Okay. The issue with the 3-point, to be honest, the 3-point contest usually does have stars. The 3-point contest isn't as flawed. I think they could select their contestants a little better because there's a lot of guys that were snubbed that shouldn't have been. Like Jason Tatum shouldn't be in it. Julius Randle shouldn't be in it. Damian Lillard, I agreed with. Buddy Hield, okay, I'll agree with. Tyrese Halliburton, I agree with. Like guys like that, sure. There's a lot of dudes that shouldn't have been there though. The 3-point contest, though, is the least flawed in terms of what it's set out to accomplish and what it does accomplish during the weekend. So I don't really have a big problem with the 3-point contest. I think the Celebrity All-Star Game should be scrapped completely. I think it's a stupid idea.
Oh, God, bro.
I think it's funny to get people in Utah. I think it's the only purpose is to get people in Utah.
No, but the Celebrity Game is a thing every weekend. Every All-Star weekend, it's a game. right?
No,
And it
I'm
was
just
funny
saying
when
in
Kevin
general,
Hart,
like, to get
like
people
if
to
they
the
were to do
game.
the celebrity, okay, back then the celebrity game was funny. Why? Because Kevin Hart and
Kevin
a bunch
Hart,
of, and like
bro.
Drake and Kevin Hart would fight against each other, like coaching and stuff. That was funny when there was like an idea behind it, a story behind it. There
Did
was
you
no social
did you
media
watch the
presence.
game? Did
The
you
I
watch?
did. I
Did
celebrity,
you
I
did.
watch
didn't.
the game?
I
I
didn't.
watched it. And here's
That
my
half
thing.
court shot was funny.
Fact, the
The
half
full
court
court,
shot, bro. When
but
I found out that it was the Miz that hit that, I was like, bro, he's goated. He's freaking goated.
it
A
was
former
funny. But
WWE
I don't like
champion
how there's
hit
no
that
like
shot.
funny people in the All Star game anymore, where they like actually try to hype it up. Like the only thing that came out of the Celebrity All Star game was that one Canadian actor got mad on Twitter over the racist like look-alike.
Yeah.
That was really
And
the
Guillermo.
only like that was the only thing I saw when they like compared an Asian to an Asian, and like Twitter got
Oh,
really
like
mad
on
over
the
that.
on the jumbo.
Yeah, on the look-alike.
Here's another thing
I'm
too.
What
not
is
gonna
this,
lie,
to
like
compare an Asian to a white dude.
no, listen. No, they did not look alike. To be fair,
Oh,
Right.
so I
didn't see
understand that
it. I
term.
didn't see it. But
I didn't see it, but at the same time, like, bro, I hate to say this, but we got to be real here. Like, that's some like we're soft if we're getting mad at that. Let's be real. Let's be real. Like, if I'm a celebrity and somebody puts me on the cam and he puts me beside a guy that's like wearing a turban, I would laugh. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that shit is funny to me. That's me though. Like, I don't know. I guess I can understand why you're butthurt over it. Personally, if they did like a lookalike, it's just an Arab guy with a beard, I would laugh. Like, I would laugh.
But
That
yeah,
would be
let's
funny to me.
So let me just give my
all
thoughts
right, go
on the
for it.
celebrity game really quick. I touched light on this before in the last episode, to where it's like, to me, I don't know if it's a situation where like they can't get certain like A-list celebrities, but me and my boy Amir, we were watching it and we were like, do you know half of the celebrities in this game right now? Like, and he was like, no. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't. Like Guillermo, I knew him from Jimmy Kimmel. The Miz, like I know him from WWE, but like outside of the 21 Savage, like yeah, but like other than that, it's like, back in the day though, we would have like, think about 2K. What was it, 2K13? You had Snoop Dogg, Justin Bieber, like on the celebrity team. Like, bro, you got to think too. 2K, when they do like the events, like to kickstart the like pushing for 2K about to drop. Back when they were doing it in, what was it, August of last year, they had everybody and their mama at the little 2K, popping out at the little 2K convention joint. Chris Brown was there, Lil Wayne was there. Ronnie 2K is taking pictures with numerous celebrities, some of which can actually play basketball on the side. So in my head, I'm like, invite them to the All-Star game. Make the
2K's
celebrity
got
game
more connections than Adam Silver.
2K's got more
That's basically
connections
what
to
we're saying.
celebrities than the
Bro,
commish, bro.
I
What's happening?
told you already. I think last episode I said I watched the game last year because I was sick and I had nothing better to do. One of the celebrities they had there was like a dude from a Peloton. Like, he's like a Peloton instructor. Like the guy, like people see when they go on like digitally. Like, that, no, what are we talking about, man?
Like, bro, you might as well just get Jake from
I
State
don't want to
Farm
be
too.
rude.
You
I
might
don't
as well
know.
get him
Yeah,
too.
I don't know any of the celebrities. I don't know
It
who
was
the
like
Miz
an
is. I'm not gonna
Italian
lie.
high jumper.
Like, I don't know these. I don't know these guys. Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm trying to see like Sandra Bullock post up like Vin Diesel. Like, that's what I'm trying to see. It's a celebrity All-Star game. Like, that's what's funny
like,
to me.
put
Like,
DJ
imagine
Khaled
seeing
in there, please.
Imagine seeing
Please.
Justin Bieber and Gucci Mane jawing at each other, like walking
Literally.
back up down the court or something, and then like a diss track get dropped like the next day. Like, that's some funny to me.
If 21 Savage and Drake can drop a collab album, you can somehow find a way to put them together in a celebrity basketball game for All-Star
Drake
Weekend.
literally
I'm
hoops
just
24/7.
saying.
21
Exactly.
Savage plays in the overtime league or that rapper league. I mean,
The
like,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
21 plays at, like,
The Crew League.
Why not get these guys? That's not. It shouldn't be that
I
hard.
don't
Like,
get it.
imagine seeing Bryce Hall try to post up 21 Savage. Like, that would be hilarious. I would watch that. I would personally watch that. Or seeing like Fousey Tube trying to shake hands with Drake after that whole thing.
And
like,
they got Jesser in. Why didn't you call up Cash Nasty?
Jester's
call
not
up
bad.
call
Imagine
up
Flight. Why aren't they Flight? Yeah, why isn't Flight in that game? Like, why aren't people who are not only celebrities but like they're like celebrities because of the NBA? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's ridiculous to me.
I hate to barge in, but we have about 15-20 minutes and we still got to talk about Russ. But let's please, before we got to get to the dunk contest first.
Yeah, we got to get to the dunk contest, please.
So the contestants being Jericho Sims, Trey Murphy, Mac McClung, and wow, the other guy was so forgettable. I forgot who it was. Kenyon Martin Jr. If I could, I don't know if this is a hot take. I think Mac McClung is on the Mount Rushmore of dunk contest contestants already. There's something to me that like there's criteria that you have to meet. First off, you have to have cool dunks, but more importantly, you have to get them on the first try. And he got every dunk on the first try. That is a true dunk contestant. And I agree with people when he says he revived it. Like, he's the only reason I got up out of my seat. Jericho Sims was very disappointing. Dude's got a 50-inch vertical and just stuck his arm in the rim twice. And he didn't get to do another dunk. He should not have opened the paper. It said 50. He was like he was supposed to do it while he was in midair. He tried to put both arms in the rim. It would have been decent if he got both actually in. He was supposed to rip the paper open, show the people the 50.
Yep.
Instead,
and he didn't even, he ripped the paper.
Yeah, he ripped the paper and he's on the ground trying to like peel the tape off to like open it up. That was awful. That was awful.
Bro.
He ripped it. That was the funniest part. He ripped it trying to open it.
He ripped it when it almost would have said 0.
Like, bro,
I almost ripped the 5 off.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Like he has no creativity whatsoever.
Yeah, no, that was
right. Because and another thing too, when I made a video on the dunk contest like Friday, I want to say, and somebody dropped a comment and said, I think that the biggest reason that the dunk contest can't get to the level that it used to is because creativity kind of dwindles down over time because there's only so much stuff that you can do to wow us. And to me, I call BS because I was watching First Take this morning. Stephen A. Smith had a grand idea for changing the dunk contest around. He said, and I quote, damn near, if players don't want to participate in it, and he means like the superstars, like the Ja Morants and the Zion Williamsons. He pointed out LeBron too. He said LeBron hasn't done one at all in his 20-year career. Meanwhile, MJ, Kobe, T-Mac, Vince Carter,
he
these
ruined
guys.
it. He didn't even just point him out. Like the caption
he
I
did,
saw on Instagram, he was like, LeBron ruined the dunk contest.
That was a little stretch.
Man.
It was a little stretch. But the way that I know what he meant to say, the reason that he said that was because he was like LeBron James being like, I don't want to do it. LeBron being who he is in the league, players are going to follow suit. Like, oh, Bron's not doing it. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I could do it, but if Bron's not doing it, I'm not doing it. Which to Stephen A's credit, like maybe I wouldn't say he's the whole reason because we still have talented dunkers in the league. But Stephen A. Smith said, if you want to scrap the dunk contest in terms of the participants that you have in it, so you don't get a G League player in it that has to steal the show, go out to New York City. Hoop, you're there. You're from there. You're from New York. There's hella dunkers in New York. There's hella street dunkers in the world. I have seen dunks from Instagram influencers that I haven't even seen players attempt before, but they've nailed it. So in my head, I'm like, how about you just do this? How about you get the best damn dunkers in the league, and if they're too damn scared to participate, Ja Morant, Zion Williamson, LeBron James, just have somebody represent them. Just let them be like a manager or something.
You know
like,
that dude with the blue hair who's like gone viral? Dude, he is nuts.
It's insane. The dude that was dunking in jeans a couple of years ago. Get that guy in there. If you want to have
same guy, I think.
Yeah, that same dude. That was a dude. The blue hair dude. Yeah, get him in there. I've been screaming for him to be in there since 2017. Since when he made dunking in jeans actually go viral. But my point is that if you want to change the format around to the point where we're not relying on one dime out of a group of 4 to just shine brightest. In this case, it was Mac McClung. We literally, like, I picked Mac McClung before on the last episode. I said, it's Mac McClung. Why? Because in my head, I'm thinking, dude's been known to dunk the basketball since he was 15 years old. Why would he disappoint me now? Especially in a situation where no one is favorited to win it. Unless you're going to say, oh, well, Jericho Sims has the highest vert. No. No one knew it was going to win it.
I have one more issue before we move on to Russ, and it's going to be real quick. It's about the judges. I do not want people to think I'm sexist when I say this, but why was Liza Leslie judging the contest? And this is my exhibit A of my reasoning why I think it was very stupid that she was a judge. There was a Mac McClung dunk that got 10s across the board.
I saw that on Instagram.
Who was the 1-9?
He would have had straight 50s the entire contest.
If you have never done a windmill dunk, at least this is the dunk contest. I'm not being sexist. Like, I'm not saying this because she's a woman. I'm genuinely saying this. If you're a woman and you're dunking like that, go judge it for sure. If you have never, how many times has she dunked the ball in her life? And I'm not even saying that to be like she doesn't.
Sorry, I picked the first single.
Like, she doesn't have she shouldn't like judge it. Like, there was an exhibit A was her literally giving Mac a 9. And I was like, what was the one? And his cameras have done on her, and she was like, needs a little more. Like, she was doing this to the camera, like, needs a little more.
I'm
What
like,
little
bro,
more do you want? What
you're trying to
little
be
more
different.
do you want? He just double pumped it midair doing a 360. What little more?
Over a person. He jumped
Over a
over a
person.
person,
Like,
then
what do
double
you
pumped
want?
it and threw it
Oh,
down.
and he tapped it on the backboard.
Yes.
The backboard, bro.
Well,
that
wasn't.
he
No,
did.
that wasn't the
Oh,
one.
that was at the 50. That was at the fight.
The
Yeah,
one
right.
that it wasn't a 50 was the one where he jumped over the dude, then like did a hezzy, and then he yammed it behind his head.
The double.
Yeah,
was it the
it
double?
was a double
yeah.
clutch.
So
Yeah.
so another
Why are
thing
you
too,
judging
just
the contest?
quickly. Saney is spot on. He's not being sexist, ladies and gentlemen. Saney loves women. However, he has a legitimate point. It's always that one dunk contest a judge that tries to be different. D Wade in 2019 against Aaron Gordon. I'm like, bro, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Everybody, you look at your friends. What are you doing? A 9? Like, what are you doing? So that's just annoying to me. On top of that, if that was a 10, he would have, I think, been the first person ever to get 4 straight 50s across the board for 4 attempts. Because he had three of his 4 attempts, he got 50s across the board, except that one. So she's robbing my man of history. It ain't like bro's sitting here waiting on Thursday night to get here so we can go suit up for an NBA team. Get that man a damn 50. What are you doing?
It's also not like this is the final round and you're
Nah, she
nitpicking.
genuinely like made me
It was
mad.
the second
She made
round
me
of the
mad.
dunk contest.
Like, I actually remember sitting there. I was like, I'm at my friend's house. We're watching it on a projector. So I'm looking up and I just see a big 9 because like his whole wall is the projector, right? I just see this big old 9. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what? And I look, at first I think it's Carl because Carl's like sitting beside her. I look up, I see Liza Leslie giving him a 9. What the hell does Liza Leslie know about dunking the ball? Like, I'm just being real. I'm like, no disrespect to the girl whatsoever.
We know you can hoop.
We
but you can't dunk.
We gotta get some like you know who should be a dunk contest judge from now on? People who have won the dunk contest. You could be a judge if you've won the contest. So you could be like McGray or Vince Carter.
Nate Robinson up there, bro.
No, literally
Yes.
get Nate because Nate, and I know Nate will do it because I know Nate will go and want to be a part of an event again.
That's
right?
his shtick.
He's been
Like, that's his thing.
like
Yeah.
he would love to do that.
He won
So
3 of them.
imagine you have Nate, Vince Carter's big still like he's still in media and stuff. Vince Carter would 100% do it. You have Nate, Vince Carter,
Spud Webb, Michael Jordan, Dominic Wilkins.
Jordan
what
want
do
to
you
do
mean?
it. Jordan want to do it for sure. But you have Jason Richardson and like Andre
I think
Iguodala.
Dr. J has done in the past.
Dr.
Yep,
J,
Dr.
like
J.
just get 4 guys who have dunked the ball before. And there you go. Like guys who actually like appreciate creativity. I don't think Liza Leslie appreciated how hard that dunk was.
I don't think that she understood what she saw.
I don't think she
That's the
understood
problem.
either. I don't think she understood like how hard it is to do that as a male. But she gave somebody else at them. Like she gave some, I don't remember what it was, but I remember I was like, that's not a what?
Doesn't make a lick of sense, bro.
Hey,
Doesn't
we
make a lick of
gotta
sense.
talk about someone else who could really dunk the ball, who's now headed to. I don't know if you guys saw. I don't know if you guys saw the meme. It was the Toy Story 2 when Al in Al's Toy Barn, like he says, "Oh man, I gotta drive all the way to work," and he goes like across the street into the workplace. Oh, that fell flat. Anyways, he's moving from Crypto.com Arena to Crypto.com Arena, just in a different shirt.
I love it. You know what the funniest thing I saw on Twitter?
What?
It was like a text. It was like Westbrook's phone, a text to LeBron, and it was like, "I'm still your neighbor." Is their name? That I'm not backing up yet. Howdy, neighbor. But man, I'm not saying this as a Russ fan. People on Instagram are really being haters. On Twitter, they're really being haters. They're saying, "Oh, the Clippers just lost their playoff chances. They're no longer a threat." Blah blah blah. I don't think people understand how good the Clippers can be now. They never had a true point with that team. They never had a guy who could actually facilitate the ball. On the Lakers, you got to understand, Russ did so bad because it was the Lakers. Look at how the Lakers were built. That was not built for a Russell Westbrook type player whatsoever. They tried to turn Westbrook into a corner shooter at one
So
point.
as someone who's, because obviously knows the Lakers fit was bad, but as someone who's watched Russell Westbrook your whole life, what about the Clippers makes it the perfect team to you?
The shooters, the amount of dudes around him that could space the floor out for him. The Lakers had no spacing whatsoever, bro. They were the worst 3-point shooting team I've ever watched. Like, it was terrible. And you also had a guy like LeBron James who wanted the ball in his hand 24/7. He wanted to be the one running the offense, right? But now you have a guy like PG and Kawhi. Kawhi doesn't care about having the ball in his hands. You chuck it to him. Once you pass half court, he'll give you a bucket. Paul George, same thing. We've seen Paul George and Russ work out. The only reason they did it in the playoffs is because Paul George had a shoulder surgery both series, both in Utah
They
and in
also
Portland.
had
He was coming off a
another
shoulder
guy on a
surgery.
big
People
deal
didn't want
who
to talk
didn't
about
perform. Melo just
Melo.
fell flat.
Exactly, right? But now you have the Clippers team. I fully trust Kawhi. I trust Paul George. He took that team to the Western Conference Finals without Kawhi. Paul George gets a lot of hate for his past playoff history, but people don't understand lately he's been great. You also have a Clippers team who have improved. We called them one of the best teams after the trade deadline because of how much they improved. Look at their depth. Look at how insane they are. They have guys like Aaron Gordon, Bone Tylen, Mason Plumlee coming off the bench.
Not Aaron Gordon. But Eric.
Eric Gordon. Sorry, Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon, like shooters, like bro, that's literally the perfect fit for Russ. You let Russ is going to average 20 assists a game. Russ is no longer going to have to shoot stupid shots. He's not going to have to randomly pull it from three. He's not a shooter. I will be the first to tell you that. We're not even
mentioning
Russell Westbrook,
Batum, Powell,
I'm only talking about the new players, bro.
Yeah,
you literally just gave Russ so much firepower, and you're just letting this athletic 6'4" dominant male pause just go wild with this team. The chemistry's already there. He's already cool with half of those guys. I'm sure Westbrook is known to be a good locker room presence. I hate this idea that he's a cancer. Every single player that he's played with prior to the Lakers have come out and been like, he's my favorite teammate of all time. Russ is my favorite teammate of all time. We've heard that time and time again. We know Westbrook can mesh well with guys. The Lakers work terribly. Why? Because the whole blame, obviously, I know people mention, oh, Russ isn't the full problem. I know we're at that stage now. But let's be honest. When you think of the Lakers' problems and who there was to blame, it was always Russ first. He was always the scapegoat. Always, always, always. Now they don't have a scapegoat and they're still the 13th seed. I can't wait to watch that Lakers team crumble again. I want to see them fail now because I want people to understand that the problem isn't Russ. The problem was the Lakers. And Russ was a part of that problem, yes. But you just gave Russ another LA team that's actually built properly, that actually has squad depth, where if a guy gets injured, we have a couple other guys to rely on. Unless it's Kawhi or PG, then we're in serious trouble, sure. But I mean, the Clippers look deadly. I think there's going to be a banner hung in LA. I'm not saying this as a Russ fan. There genuinely might be another banner hung in LA, and it's not going to be a yellow one. It's Clip Town, baby. It's Clip Town now. It's Clip Town.
So here's my thing, right? Russell Westbrook, I feel like, is in a situation where he has the opportunity to take control of the narrative, his own freaking narrative. And like Sandy said, it was a fit issue from the jump. Like, there were literal people, including me, when Russell Westbrook got traded to the Lakers, who said this does not make a lick of sense whatsoever. And anybody in their right mind who thinks that somehow, some way, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis is a green light to a championship, you're an idiot. Why? Because you have one basketball and you have three individuals whose games are predicated on having the ball in their hands a lot. Pause. Anyway. Russell Westbrook is in a situation now where he is with the Los Angeles Clippers. And like Sandy said, we talked about them after the trade deadline as literally, honestly, the team that had the most acquisitions to help their case of moving forward in the regular season.
That's without Russ.
And that's without Russ. So if anybody that's going to say that Russell Westbrook is a detriment to this team, or he's going to be a cancer, or anything that they worked hard for in the last 2 weeks trading wise in the front office has been absolutely crumbled with this Russell Westbrook decision, no, they can't get worse. They can only get better with Russell Westbrook. Meaning, when you look at guys like Kawhi Leonard, and I was thinking about this earlier, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, the biggest thing with those two in their time with LA has been the availability aspect of these two players. Kawhi Leonard has shown up countless times, except in the bubble. He had 8 points in that game 7 against the Nuggets, and they blew a 3-1 lead, but whatever. Since then, Kawhi Leonard almost got them all the way back in 2021, the very next year, until he blew his knee out. And then Paul George did his damnedest to get the Clippers out of the play-in tournament to get to the playoffs. It's just these guys can get the job done. But the load gets taken off of them when you insert a Russell Westbrook. And I also think that it is a coaching situation, because when you look back at Frank Vogel's time in LA, people were like, oh, Frank Vogel doesn't know how to coach Russ. Russ coaches Frank Vogel, right? You bring in Darvin Ham. Oh, this guy's all about defense. Yeah, he's definitely going to be able to know how to deal. You got Ty Lue, bruh. Ty Lue is one of the best coaches in the league, has been one of the best coaches in the league since the 2016 finals. Ty Lue has I don't know what it is, but Ty Lue can just get through to players to figure out something that they can do, that they can unlock to help the benefit of the entire team. Russell Westbrook is in a situation right now where he's coming off of the worst season of his entire career. This season, his numbers have dropped more, and he's coming off the bench. But it looks better, because when you look at Russ, the Energizer Bunny, and what he brings to an offense and how he wakes up and revitalizes an offense, that's the pro, right? So you're bringing him over to this Clipper team. I assume he's going to start. We thought John Wall was going to be great for these Clippers, and that didn't work out. So, you might as well pull the trigger with Russell Westbrook. Hey, screw it. You got an energizer bunny. You got a guy that's going to show up to work. You got a guy that's going to be reliable. You got a guy that's going to give it 110%
And John
every
Wall's
single
different
night.
from Russ. John Wall is a different player from Russ, especially with that fit, because John Wall was not as much of a playmaker as Russ could be for them right now. You know what I mean? Russ, I feel like, is going to distribute the ball a lot better than John Wall did. I feel like John Wall is more prioritized scoring more beside two,
which is really weird considering his best trait is passing,
right? But ever since his injury, he's kind of just
trying
been
to prove
like
himself.
Pull-up guy, like pull-up jumpers, weird shot selections. Westbrook can still distribute the ball. We know that. We saw what he was doing with the Lakers in his last little stretch. He was actually playing good when he was coming off the bench. Obviously he had a little mismatch here and there, but it's the Lakers. I don't expect the Lakers to be good in general. But there was flashes there where it's like, okay, Westbrook can still be Westbrook. Not as good as the OKC days, obviously, where he can score at will. But he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to score at will. Not only does he have Paul George and Kawhi, he has Norman Powell and a buttload of shooters around him. He has Zubac, who can grab any board you want. Like, he actually has a sick team built around him. They're going to win the ring. If I were to choose a team to win the ring,
now he's saying it. Now he's saying it.
They're going to win a ring. I think in a series against the Suns, the Clippers have much more depth and just as much star power.
They do.
Just as much star power.
I believe they have more depth for sure.
I mean, I made a video like at the start of the season saying that it was kind of because I wanted them to win, but I believed it in my heart that if Kawhi Leonard is playing basketball, he can match anyone superstar wise. And then besides that, it's the team you have around them. I thought that the Clippers were going to get a big at the deadline because aside from Zubac, they were playing like, but I don't know if it was Batum
they did
5, but they played and they got Mason Plumlee. And aside from Mason Plumlee, they got more, Eric Gordon, who's very hungry and is still playoff proven player. Like he's been there. Bones Highland, energy, shot of energy. And now Russell Westbrook. And even if Russ does not start, I hear a lot of, I don't know if it's Clipper fans or just people on NBA Twitter saying that Terrence Mann might still start. Like it's still a massive, boost to a team that does not have much like natural playmaking there. Paul George can do it just like he could do everything. But a lot of times, I feel like Paul George is, the idea of him is better than the product. But he could still step up big for a playoff game. Kawhi Leonard is not known as this natural playmaker, but Russ is absolutely a natural playmaker. And when you can put all these pieces around him, I think it makes for a very interesting team that can be very high octane offense as well as great defensively because of the coaching, because they have guys like George, Leonard, Batum, who are all like very good two-way guys. I'd say they're my favorite out of the West, just because I want them to win it. I mean, I still think it's going to be real tough to get past Phoenix and Denver. I think those are the two teams I have my eyes on, but
I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. So random. I'm just like trying to pull up like random things about the Clippers. April 5th, 2023, the Lakers play the Clippers.
Play the Clippers, yep.
Guess what April 5th is?
What? Is it Russ's birthday?
It's my birthday. So that means on my birthday, I get to be blessed to watch Westbrook.
They better win, dog.
Dominate. I want to see a 40-point triple-double.
Jarrett Vanderbilt, 20, 10, and 10, 5 and 5.
That is the best birthday gift I will ever receive in my life if Westbrook just destroys the Lakers.
So, and that's another thing I was just about to get into was that Russell Westbrook has a legitimate opportunity. And I don't think that a lot of people are really talking about it, but Russ has a shot he got traded away from this team to sent all the way to Utah. I guess Rob Pelinka and them boys was like, yeah, thanks for your time, Russ, but you can get out of here, right? Buys out, heads right back to LA and is like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to go and play for the other franchise that plays in this building. And Russ has a legit opportunity to change the narrative and still stick it back to the Lakers. Like, think about this. For what the Lakers gave Russ up for to get in return, right? D'Angelo Russell and Vanderbilt and Beasley, and everybody's like, okay, this team, yeah, they got D'Lo. D'Lo's playing exactly what he needs to do. He's playing exactly how he needs to play with LeBron by his side and AD by his side. Blah 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 blah. The Clippers were already loaded. Russ just walks on the team and is like, hey, let me get in on this. Let me, y'all plan on going to the playoffs? I was been hoping for this for a year and a half now.
The Clippers, because the Lakers handed it to them, would be weak.
It would be so
and it would be
wild.
because the Lakers handed them their number
That's
one
what I'm
problem.
saying.
Exactly.
Like, it's a storybook ending for this LA era for Russ.
They just got to
I
stay
know
healthy.
Right.
Once
that.
again, it's not a given. I'm still holding this. Man, I really want them.
I got to
win it
see it. I got to
because
see it, but it would
the
be
Knicks
perfect.
are not. The Knicks aren't going past the second round if they make it at the first round somehow. So I'd be rooting for the Clippers this playoff series.
Who do you
but-
think? Who do you think the Suns like? Who do you think wins in a series? Suns or Clippers? Like, be honest.
That's
fully
the,
healthy.
that's the thing. The
I think it's
Suns
the
like.
Clippers. I don't think it goes to 7 games. I think it ends in 6.
Well, I mean, Monty Williams has also been to the finals as well. I know it's not the perfect.
Ty Lue has
run,
as well.
But no, I'm saying you need to.
Oh, yeah.
You need to. Expect something out of Monty Williams as well. And I think the Suns are better defensively than people give them credit for. It would really just be, I think, a star battle.
It would be.
I think the
Straight
depth, like the Suns' depth, is underrated.
You guys got to remember how Kevin Durant is against Kawhi Leonard in a series, though. Like, Kawhi has time and time again, and I could say this firsthand as a Thunder fan.
Oh, we're
and
going back.
Also
now.
watching not only just a Thunder fan, but in that Warriors series when Kawhi got injured, that like bit up Kawhi dominance. Like, Durant does not perform against Kawhi.
I mean,
Like,
I don't.
Kawhi healthy, like Hoop said, I would like in a series.
He's not as
very,
defensively
even
active.
then, very
He's
few
not-
dudes.
Don't get me wrong.
very
I'd
few
love to
dudes.
see it. I'd love to see it, but
If
you
we're
know,
talking
here's
about
my
healthy
thing.
Kawhi, very few dudes
I
I'll take
can't-
over him in a playoff series. I think I'll.
I
take-
agree.
Right.
I don't even.
But
know.
Durant,
like,
Durant is in the conversation.
Durant's-
let's
Durant's
not say that.
conversation.
No,
Gabe-
no, no,
Durant's
Durant's in the conversation for sure. But I'm just
The
saying,
last
like,
time
you have Kawhi and Durant, they cancel each other out to me.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
And now
that's
we got to
fair.
look at their teams around them, where it's like
So-
Kawhi
so-
and Durant head to head.
Well,
What is their
hold
team?
on, because I
Are
mean,
you-
can't. It's one thing to say, talent-wise they cancel out. I do think Durant has more of a playmaking aspect to his game, in that
Oh, for sure.
he's more active when he's not scoring. Durant is.
But I think
But I don't.
Kawhi
I don't
has
want.
a
I'm not
defensive
undervaluing
aspect
Kawhi.
to his game.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
just
mean?
say
Like, I
it's
think-
more. It's more. In depth than the surface level. But yeah.
To say that KD and Kawhi cancel each other out is like the perfect way to look at it. Because I'm like, for as much as we've said, you put a healthy Kawhi in a playoff series, you put your money on Kawhi. I'm not mad at you. I'm with you. But KD, the thing I've learned about Kevin Durant is that when you count him out and you try and put him in a tier like below where he really is supposed to be, Kevin Durant has a tendency to just be like, y'all seem to forget who the hell I am. I'm Kevin Durant. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you bring me a 32-year-old Kawhi Leonard. I don't care. I'm cooking him. If Kevin Durant wants to cook, he's gonna cook. You have to from what I've seen in the past is you have to have a team that is completely of the mindset of shut down Kevin Durant, like a Boston Celtics team was. Put
the
him on the
Clippers
high
have the
block.
personnel, which is crazy.
They do. They have the coaching too. But so it's interesting to see. But my thing is, like you said, I feel like a lot of people are underrating the Suns defense on top of the fact that I don't know how this Suns team is going to look, because with Chris Paul, like we talked about before, his role has gone down significantly scoring wise on this team. All he's got to do, you talking about Westbrook getting 20 assists a night. Chris Paul might get 20 assists a night, literally from just standing at the top of the key and passing it to Devin Booker coming off of a screen, or using pick and rolls and getting DeAndre Ayton more active. Like this Suns team and this Clippers team, I would have to just see them play a few games before I can really make a judgment on them. But in a playoff series, I'm with Saney on the sheer fact that I think that the Clippers and Ty Lue will run sort of, they have the luxury to run a 12-man lineup compared to the Suns in postseason.
Like 8-man.
You feel me? Like it's
8-man. And they're
it's
like
something-
7th and 8th man. I don't trust.
Right, it's weird. I would pick the Clippers in that series. I'm favoring the Clippers just because of the fact that they just got more guys that can play deep in the playoffs.
Like, obviously, we've seen Durant, for example, like with that Nets team, when he doesn't have people around him, he could still make it work. He'll still take you to he'll still make the series competitive. Durant is like that. I agree. But I gotta go with I think the Clippers are the new favorite. I think they are. But I think there's a good way to end off the episode.
Oh, over Denver.
Yeah, over Denver.
All right, I'm just making sure I heard that.
Over Denver.
I want the Clippers to win, but Denver's
Denver.
Denver's
I think
a
healthy.
worthy opponent. Playoff
I
Jamal
think-
Murray, I'm not doubting.
So
I
what
know he's
happens?
not
Let me
as,
ask
he's
you
not
this
as
question.
proven, but I know he can turn.
Let
up.
me-
Busy Bones
me-
got some beef to pick with them, man. So I'm just say that. But I mean, I think this is a good place to end the episode. Thank you for listening in or tuning in. This was episode 52, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
52.
Worst All-Star game ever. Thank God I didn't watch it. Liza Leslie, please don't judge another dunk contest again. We'll see you guys episode 53.